Hello, everyone. It's Sunday, SFMF Live. Let me get a sound check, a 5x5. Got the production team here. You see, we're in another different location. That's how we roll. We're making it happen. That's why you didn't see us on Wednesday. So again, every other is pretty much every other. If we're in one spot on the Wednesdays, so stand by for the Wednesdays. But it is Sunday. We are happy to be here. Already got back from church a little while ago. Great message. I'm going to share that with you today also. But welcome, everybody. SFMF Live, Sunday. Yes, another location on the move. June and now July have been crazy for us. But we're here. It's good to see you. We're glad to be here. Glad to celebrate another Sunday. All right. Can I get a sound check? We got successfully connected. Hopefully, we have no glitches. I just need a 5x5 and we'll kick it. A lot of great stuff to talk about. The mandatory service. We're definitely going to talk about that. That caught a lot of attention short from a couple days ago. And some people were even mad at me, like it was my idea and it's going to happen. It was a thought, and that came from due to youth today, right? So we'll hit on that. We'll touch on that mandatory service or not. All right, John McDuncan, good to see you, buddy. The production team is here. We are spread out, but we're here. So we're ready. John McJunkin. Hope you're doing well, and we're ready for some questions. Menachem, good to see you. BTN, of course, getting ready. Soon to be SFMF chaps. Annie Banani's here. Aloha. All right. Who else we got? And what are you drinking? Jordan Hammond. Good evening, SFMF. I'm here for the motivation, and Jordan Hammond here for the day. Here for duty. All right. We need some people on duty. Old Darren checking in. All right. And sound is good, everyone? Randall Knapp said hi. All right. Uh-oh. I'm paused on there. Am I paused for anyone else? Hold that thought, Menachem. Yes, we're going to discuss it. Mandatory service. Doesn't think it's a good idea. That's definitely going to be today's topic because it got a lot of attention on the short. Gunnies is here. All right, get it. 5.0 Sergeant Major. Thank you, John. We're back. Jordan's drinking water. I got a little mixture of stuff. Extra thirsty lately. Been doing some moving. We're going to talk about PCSing and the move process for when you change duty stations, and then the difference when you are in first civ div when you move out for good. Who does those moves? Menachem, it's not Lima Romeo, it's Lima Charlie. Loud and clear. Lima Romeo, I guess, will be loud and rough. Loud and reckless. Carrie Ann Marie Potts. I don't know what's going on with my YouTube. It's not letting me post. Hmm. All right. I wonder what it is. You can comment here though, Carrie Ann Marie. Good to see you. DC. What do you think of Space Force dress uniform? I don't know if I've seen it, but it's a little Spockish, right? The buttons I think are down like one side or something. Look pretty cool. Look pretty Space Forcey. See, we see you, Carrie Ann Marie. Kimmy Cocoa Puffs is in the house. Lima Roller, Lima Romeo. Uh, Marcel Strev. Hey, Sergeant. Hey, Sergeant. You forgot the major part. How's your day? All right. Heavy J, we're at Lima Charlie. Sorry, Major. We'll rewatch. Going to do some PT. I want to get my mile in 7 minutes. Get some green. Thank you, Heavy J. Appreciate you, brother. Awesome. Very cool. What a way to start out. Appreciate that. It's a super chat, right? Thank you very much. And go get some. Get that 7 minute mile. Get ready. Chatla is here. Where you been, Chatla? Hope you and the family are well. We hope you are well. Haven't seen you in a while. Michael's Drones is here. Hello, Sergeant Major and the production team. Joe is in the house. All right. We're kicking it Sunday. And it's been a full week since we seen you. Did a couple shorts. We're going to talk about those. Again, the mandatory service one. What was the second one I was going to talk about? Because they got a lot of the mandatory service one got a lot of attention. It was so interesting to me. And I'll tell you where that comes from. Again, where that whole idea came from. Oh, the PCS, the transition part of the PCS part of transition, the moving in particular. We're going to discuss that as well. And of course, we're going to end it off with some leadership. You know, saw another shirt at a gym. You've seen that, and can I say kills on here? I don't want to. You've seen complacency kills, comfort kills. I saw one that said leadership kills. That inspired some more thought process on our channel. All right, the producer says, "Yo, what in the heck? A few obstacles." Yes, a few obstacles that were turning into opportunities. Remember that was the message 2 weeks ago at church. Obstacles turn into opportunities, but you got to make it happen. All right, Trev. I have a colleague from work. He came from Florida, so it makes some fun with him. And he was a first sergeant. You don't like this, but I like sergeants. Respect for your job. All right. All right. Yes, SF. The producer made it. Is that what you're talking about? Chala, been far too long. Been very busy with work, many long shifts, EMS, seeing far too many things. You know how it is. Channels comfort for me. They're good. Chala, I'm glad you're back. And yes, you got to decompress. Sometimes you got to step back and do what you love to do. That always helps. Everyone has their place, right? Their happy place, like the gym, right? Like the ocean. Things that just get you and you're running. Thank you every day get that running. Some things that just you need it. You got to take time out for yourself. Those are the times you can be a little bit selfish. Very few times which you can, but that's one of them when you need some you time. So get after it. Good on you, Charlotte. I'm glad you're here today. I'm going to start the conversation. Early mandatory service can lead to relaxed standards. I didn't see the rest, Malcolm, but I'm with you. Let's get into it. The short that I did was should high school graduates should it be mandatory for high school graduates to do military service? And I'm thinking, I think in the short I said maybe not military, but some other kind of service. Because I don't think of the five branches of service, I don't think we should flood 60,000 graduates in a year into each one of those. That was somebody's comment, by the way, also. Yeah, 60, they did some math. 60 million graduates a day, and there's only five service, that would crowd them. Agree 100%. Um, so not one of the already in place, because a percentage 1% goes in to those to the branches of service that they want already. And recruiting is good again. So everyone's going where they want to already go. The negative part of the discussion was I don't want to make people do something they don't want to do. Well, that's part of the problem. They don't want to be disciplined and responsible and mature and hold themselves accountable. That's the problem. That's why they need some sort of program, service. And people brought up civil service. Um, let's see, I was just asking. I didn't even know what they did. The Peace Corps. I didn't know what they do, but some sort of service to our country, right? That would help them grow a little pride in our country, a pride in service, pride in self, right? Too many people graduate high school and do nothing, or they have no common courtesy, no discipline, no responsibility, no accountability. That's our biggest problem. It's accountability comes up all the time. It came up in church today. Accountability and what the Bible says about accountability. Too often we blame everyone else, right? Just the last organization I worked for, nobody was held accountable ever. And that was the problem. Big O, what up, brother? Good to see you. It's good to be back on the mainland. So it in church, and that's what struck me. I couldn't wait till now because it's a different message through the Bible. But right away, people, God, why are you doing this to me? God, why are you putting me in this situation? God, God, God. They blame God. But when things go well for you, You're like, yeah, I did it on my own. Look what I did. Look what I did. It was all God, first of all. But God doesn't tempt you. God does not tempt, says in the Bible, He does not tempt you with evil. It's what you, and temptation's out there. And some people even blame the devil. That's the devil. The temptation is going to be there regardless. It's what you do on that temptation is where you get yourself into trouble. It's not God. That's you. Hold yourself accountable. It says in the Bible. Joe, it's required in Israel, isn't it? Thank you, first of all, for the super chat. Appreciate you very, very much. And it is. It is in some countries. It already is. Mandatory service is. Because one of the many countries I've been to, and I can't quote them all. You probably know better than I do, but some countries do mandate it 2 years. Some are good countries, some are bad countries. I think China is one of them. And like Switzerland, there's a couple others that it works just fine. America is different. I get it. Our freedoms, and yes, we have all the rights in the world. It's the greatest country in the world because of how we run our country. Got it. It's the youth growing up that I'm worried about, and having, again, working in that era, I've noticed it more and more. People don't want to do what they don't want to do. People don't like being comfortable, not comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's what some of the don't do that. It doesn't work. People, why would you force somebody to do something they don't want to do? And then at the same time, as a Marine, would I want an influx of people that don't want to be there? No, that's the beauty of the all volunteer service. I got it. I'm telling you, this is back and forth, 50-50. Most of the comments were yes, absolutely. Our today's youth needs it. That's where I was going with, and they do. Again, working in the JROTC environment, working in the high school environment, boys especially just seem a whole lot softer. Sorry, boys, suck it up and do what you got to do. They don't like being uncomfortable. They like that instant gratification. If they don't want to do something, they won't do it. If football practice is hard, the coach doesn't like me, they quit. It's like all of a sudden quitting is acceptable. It's absolutely not. And it's getting us to a place where very, very sad, where we're going, if we keep heading in that direction, the alpha males are becoming fewer and fewer. Soy boys, yep, I said it. There's softer people coming up because we're not holding them accountable. We're not holding them to the standard. We're fluctuating the standard, right? We're not holding anyone accountable. All right. Let me read some comments on that because again, I got some very aggressive replies to that. Oh, what are you out of your mind? That'll never work. So I don't think, again, we should force people in any of the branches of service, but there should be a program or a service that if you're not going straight to college, if you're not going straight into the service, you are going to serve your country somehow, some way. The time limit depends on you and what you're going to do after that. But everyone should serve their country. A little self pride, right? You'll think differently, but you'll learn a whole lot. Maybe it's all classes. It doesn't have to be, it's not a thrash session. It's not boot camp for 6 months or a year. It's to get you in tune more with your country. All right. All right. How's everybody doing? Welcome. Welcome to SFMF. We're on the mainland, which is great. We different different aura wherever you go, and that's the PCS is what we're going to talk about. Yes, next, and what that entails. All right, Gunny says some congressmen have introduced bills to move that forward, but it never goes anywhere. And again, something else we talk about. We talk about. We talk about. We talk about. Um, see if there's any more comments about it. It's just it's something to help guide you. Maybe it could guide you to the military or guide you to college because of that little extra. Does high school teach you, again, the same stuff we talked about? Those responsibilities, that maturity, that faith and belief in my country, religious, right? This service could have Could have all those subjects that high school doesn't teach, right? Accountability, financing, how to balance a checkbook. I know nobody does a checkbook anymore, but balancing your finances, right? Purchasing a vehicle and the difference between renting a house and buying a house. All those things that you don't learn in high school. That's what this service could be. It's not to thrash everybody and just a mini boot camp. And I think that's what people say. You're going to force them in. It's not the draft, right? We don't need people in the military. Again, recruiting numbers are up for everybody, all the branches of service. So it's not that we need our military doesn't need it. Our society needs it, right? We need some era put back in these young men and women. All right, checks and balances. I like that. A few years as a civil, I missed that. It's a good thing. National service, right? Someone even said serve at a national park, serve with medical, EMS. Somehow, somewhere along the way, you're doing some service for your country. Tennessee, anybody from Tennessee, the volunteer state. Why can't we be that, a volunteer country? You voluntold those 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever it is. All right. All right. It'll have to be done in a way that's constitutional. I like that. 0311 Golf Company 25. Joey Gonzalez. What's up, Joe Gonzalez? Hurrah. Semper Fi, my friend. Retreat hell. Good to see you. Eric Green. We need to hire Marines for security at our high school after service. Eric Green. I've been saying that for decades now. It feels like why aren't all these prior service, even Army, prior service warriors, why aren't they working in high schools? Right? Been handling weapons their whole career. Security. It's what they do for a living. Why not put them in high schools? And it gives all these veterans a job. Jared, Gunner's got a question for you. All right, John McJunkin. Service could be as easy as being a lifeguard, crossing guard, volunteer firefighter, hospital volunteer, EMT, paramedic, conservation corps, forestry service, Coast Guard auxiliary, civil air patrol, all the above. Any of that. I love it, McJunkin. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Some sort of service, give you some pride in your country, your city, your town, wherever you are, giving back before you start taking, right? Awesome, John McJunkin. Old Jerry stepped away for a minute, had to feed birds and the deer. Good on you. I'm with you, Eric Green, FAFO. Put some service members in these high schools. The fact that you need armed people in school just makes me feel uneasy. And that's where we're at today. You've seen it on the news. Why do we need armed guards? Again, back to our today's youth and society. They get away with too much, right? Uh, Tony, I remember the smell before me dropped off in the comment zone, Vietnam, and it smelled like, you know what? 1968 was a strange year. Yes, it was, Tony. Thank you for your service and welcome home, brother. How do you get your pride back after service? Says Jay Bradburn. That's wow. That's deep, Jay. Um, right here. Places like this. Jay Bradburn. That's deep, man. But this is how you do it. Working with veteran service organizations, and it doesn't have to be one of the top 10. Find any branch of or any veteran owned veterans VSO veteran service organization, get involved with them, work with them. They do stuff for the community. They belong to our channel if you're not already. Subscribe so you can get this pride back in all of us, right? And some haters, there'll be some haters here. Sure, I haven't seen any yet, but those are the ones who want that pride back and they're trying desperately to get it back, but they just don't know how to do it. That's misdirected anger, right? They talk about my bald head to get a reaction out of me. And I like the ones that say, let it go, man. You're not a Marine anymore. Well, first of all, once a Marine, always a Marine. But this is how we get that pride back. Being in an organization, in a community, in a warrior-like atmosphere, like we are here. And this is it. This is where you get your pride. Right? How many people wear I have a Hawaii shirt on today, but I got more Marine shirts when I got out. Marine stickers in my car, of course, as a sticker. I'm totally Marined out, and that's the pride after service. So Jay, if you had a bad experience in your service, don't carry that into your the next chapter of your life, right? Because those come and go. And guess what? Hate to tell you, you're going to have a bad experience in the civilian community, right? You're going to come across some bad leaders. My last organization had the worst leaders I've ever dealt with in my life, but I can't let that affect my next chapter. In fact, you ain't breaking me, you're making me. Right? It just opened my eyes up to, oh my God, this is terrible leadership. And prior service Marines, retired Marines. This is where God steps in and separates you from bad situations like that. So you ain't stopping me. You're making me go forward even more. That's what that finding your pride will do for you. But you got to find it. You got to put the effort in. All right, great question. Though I like that. Um, yes, Byron, great tip. Don't do drugs. Merch idea. Merch idea. Can we get Cammy SFMF teddy bear? The producer's got to have to answer that one, Carrie Ann Marie Potts. I like that. I like that idea. But we're coming into we're coming into that landing. All right, we're still on the move, as you can see around me. We're coming into that landing where the merch is going to start back again. We have some great ideas for some new merch, and that's right around the corner. Promise you. Jay Bradburn, Semper Fi, brother. Thanks for being here. Jeff W says, I love my country, but if America won't protect our kids or advance, and again, we're moving in the right direction. I didn't catch all of it, but that's where we're going, right? To back to protecting our children. It's been chaos. We're getting back into it now. Daniel Hernandez, what's up, brother? I just missed it. I saw your name. Good to see you from K-Bay. Yes, of course, I remember you a long time, no see. I was in and out in the last couple of weeks, but good to see you on here. Excuse me. Lay Cookie, good to see you, brother. What's happening? Again, look, this is not a permanent spot yet, but soon as you'll know when we're permanent, when you see the ANC designs up on the wall again, the American flag and the SFMF round logo. Once you see those gems up on the wall, that's how you'll know we're home for a little while. Anyway, um, I want some in the history of American Army gives Sergeant his name. That was Kenny. You know that history of the American Army. Mm-mm. All right, John McJunkin. Here we go. I found my calling after getting discharged and just looking after fellow veterans and fellow citizens. Visit them in hospitals, veterans homes, help them get clean from drugs and alcohol, and just being there with them. John McJunkin, we would do the same. Our Marine Corps League would visit the veteran hospital on holidays, random days, but definitely on Veterans Day, Memorial Day, Christmas, New Year's, Marine Corps birthday, era. We would go on those days and just spend time with those guys, man. They just want you, they want to be around people, right? And you let them guide the conversation, right? If you got a veteran of stuff that wants to talk about vet stuff, listen, man, be a good listener, but just be there with them. I'm telling you, it was awesome. And again, once we settle down, we'll set something back up that again. But you can visit any of them. You don't have to know somebody specific in there. Just would anyone be open? Talk to the nurses. Can you ask your patients, anyone open to just having a conversation with an old Marine, right? Young Marine, any branch of service. But good on you, John McJunkin, and look at you now, still serving. And that's where you found your purpose. Right? That's what we need. Right. That's right. When I hit my dark spot of my life, it's because I didn't think I had any purpose anymore. We all need purpose. You pick your direction, but you got to find your purpose. The Hermit said it was so cool watching Marines meet each other outside of the military. Old Marine meets another Marine. It's a brotherhood, and it's instant, right? You can tell by you make that eye contact, and somebody might have a pin or a shirt or a hat or something. Then you give a little era, and they give era Semper Fi Marine, and then it's on. Best friends. Did we just become best friends? Yes. That's how it happens. On the street, anywhere. Marines are definitely fanatical. Yes, about being Marines. I'm gonna get some new merchandise. Eric Green. Again, we've been on the move for it seems like months now. PCS is what we're going to talk about shortly. Moving in general, we're almost settled. Right, the helicopter's still coming in for that landing. Once we download, unpack, the merch will be back out. But thank you. Uh, excuse me. Lake Cookie said, breaks my heart to go to the VA hospital and see the condition of some of our vets. Great point there too, Lake Cookie. So the first time I'm telling you, was a few years ago when I first joined the Marine Corps League, shortly after retirement. And I think that's what it was. Hey, we're going to go to the vet hospital. Today, we're going to make our rounds. We're going to drop off some stuff. I don't remember why we were going, but my organization, the Marine Corps League, something that they had been doing for a while. And some of the Marine Corps League members are old veterans. They're not in the VA hospital. Yeah, anyway. So we went. And I remember we were delivering something and we made a bunch of bags. It was a holiday. I think it was Christmas for some reason. But we just made small gifts that we got from donations and volunteers and bags of goodies. I don't remember what was in it. It was just a, hey, thank you, brother. Thank you for your service. Just want to, how's everything going? And it was sad. It broke my heart, like Lake Cookie said. Complete mixed emotions throughout. You see an old veteran, and it has this particular hospital, it has his name and branch of service, a little flag of his or her branch of service. A lot of Army in this one, couple Marines. And then you look in and some are laying there just staring at the ceiling with tubes and stuff in their mouth, and yeah, try to carry on a conversation is pretty tough. And then and you just being there, right, just lifts them up. People still care about you. Kind of, it's that confirmation in them. It wasn't all for nothing. Then you go into another room, and this dude is more vibrant. Still can't move. He's old. He's got an injury. Whatever his reason for it. We never talked about why they're in there. But he wants to go up. Can I still re-enlist? Can you get me back in? I can watch. I can still do a push-up. Just straight motivation at that age and that military or that medical condition that they're in. Come back, come back. When can you come back? Can you come back? That's usually the comments we get as we're leaving, even from the nurses. Please, can you come back? Can you come back? We're busy. We try to spend time with them, but the nurses and doctors, they got to do their job. They can't just hang out with these guys. So, so get after it. I'm telling you, it's nothing but good. Everybody wins. I'm on this everybody wins thing, and that's one of them. You have some purpose for them. They appreciate you being there. Everyone wins. Around. Old Irene says, always been thought about joining the league, but don't want to be a card carrying member, want to be active, but work consumes so much of my time. What say you? So again, I'm a life member to Marine Corps League. I haven't been to a meeting or even the birthday ball last year. We celebrated at a Marine Corps League club, but I haven't been to a meeting. My chapters, I don't live near my chapter anymore. So you got to get it when you can, old Irene. Don't we make excuses for what we want to do, right? Somebody told me that years ago. So you don't have time is a pretty common excuse, but some of us just really don't. So when you do, that's when you go, right? Donate. We've never really talked about people donating to these organizations. If you don't belong, can I just give you money? Um, something somehow some way try to help these organizations as much as you can because at the end of the day everyone wins. All right. Zoo 21 shipping to boot camp this month, any advice? Yes, if you're going this month, it's already mid-month, you have better already been PTing. You should be physically fit right now. Mentally tough. You have to have the right mindset going in because you are going to be thrashed, right? Mentally and physically. So, best advice, Hot Rod. Is Hot Rod on here yet? Anybody see Gunny Rod? Move fast and sound off. Best piece of advice you could possibly have going into boot camp. Move as fast as you can and be as loud as you can. For starters, and you figure it out. You'll find your battle rhythm. Never quit or give up. The senior drill instructor is going to tell you on that first day. You may or may not hear it, but he's going to tell you never quit or give up. We cannot help train you and become a United States Marine if you're not willing to give your very best. Boom. Give your very best every single day. Are you gonna be the fastest, the strongest, the smartest, the best at drill? Nope. Or maybe, but as long as you give your absolute very best in every one of those events. Swim, McMat, whatever you're doing. All right. Uh, Kelly, the OG says, "What do you mean mentally prepared? My son is going to boot camp this month too. It's going to be a culture shock." Kelly, the OG. It's going to be a culture shock unless you raised your son like a drill instructor. It's going to be a culture shock. It is for everyone. I did a short. If you haven't watched some shorts, Kelly, the OG, watch some of the shorts. Have your son watch some of the shorts. We talk about boot camp quite a bit, but it's 100% a culture shock. Nobody lives like that. Nobody has three grown, four grown men screaming in your face 24/7, or maybe 18 or 19 hours a day, right? You're not on the move every day of your life from 05:30 to 21:30. That's 9:30. Constantly on the move, running wherever you go, speed walking wherever you go, going to a class, to a confidence course, to combat hits, to boxing, to another class, to chow, to thrashing, to making it rain in the sand. That's just stuff that normal people don't do. And he's getting ready to do it for 3 months straight. So it's a complete culture shock. You have to have the right mindset. So mentally tough, be able to take it when you're being screamed at. It's all for a reason. Not yelling at you just to yell at you. It's for a reason because you're not sounding off loud enough. You're not moving fast enough. Right? When a drill instructor says, "Come here," you should have been there a second ago. Those things are just, you got to mentally be able to absorb that and give your very best at all times. Get ready, mom. Don't send him packages, send mail, send it, write as many letters as you possibly can. Tell him right now. In fact, put him on the channel. Those of you going to boot camp, tell your family right now, I'll write you about once a week if can. If no can, no can. I'm going to write you as often as I can, but don't pressure your recruit to write home a lot. He and she, they have things to think about. They got tomorrow to worry about. They got uniform prep. They got to get ready to go in the swimming pool. They got things to get ready for. Let them read mail. Let them receive mail, read it, put that stuff away, and get ready for the next day. Push-ups, pull-ups, depending on their squad bay and their drill instructors, what they can prepare. You do take a written test, you take a practical application test. They got plenty to do to not get absorbed in writing. I got to write mom, I got to write dad, I got to write grandma and grandpa, and my other grandma and my other grandpa, and my sister wants her own letter. Don't make your recruit do that. One letter to everybody, mom, when you get it, copy it, almost Xerox copy it, make copies of it, scan it on your phone and send it to family members. Don't put that pressure on your recruit. All right. Y'all need to write them a lot. I'm telling you, there's nothing better than a recruit. Well, I put it this way: there's nothing worse during mail call. You sitting there and your name never be called. Don't do that to your recruit. Send mail. Send mail. No packages. Just mail. All you need is mail. Mail call was great when you got something. I'm telling LL Pooch says it. McJunkin. So, Major, you and your family serve fellow veterans and citizens. If you think about it, you provide these Poolees, cadets, young Marines, and others help with helpful advice. You know, McJunkin, again, couldn't do it without all of you. Look at David Bryant said, we couldn't do this. This is what this is for, our purpose and serving. So we want to make this platform for everyone to serve. But thank you, John, for bringing that up. That's why we're here. Malcolm, don't do it. Maybe even send a jelly donut. Definitely send a box of cookies. You're trying to get these recruits in trouble. Don't fall for it. families, don't do that to your recruit. I have him watching you. I've been pretending to be a drone instructor, screaming at him and making him scream or running and working. That'll help. That definitely will help. Mom, keep getting after him before he goes. Up early. 05:30, let him sleep in a little bit. 05:30 in the morning, wake him up, have him run about 3 miles, come back, chores, do his chores right away, right? Give him a test or something specific to do, right? No naps during the day. You're not going to get those in boot camp. His meal when he eats breakfast, give him about 6, 7 minutes, right? And then he's got to do something else. Clean something. Your house should be spotless. You should be clean. Any downtime, you should be cleaning. Keep on him. Lay cookie. Send them no bad news or drama. Oh my God. Lay cookie. Awesome. Everyone, please just screenshot that right now. Do not send bad news or any kind of drama to your recruit in boot camp. It's the last thing they need. As much as you want to include him or her, and I even not terrible drama, but something happened while I was in boot camp with my family, and they didn't tell me when I got home later. I found out, why didn't you tell me? I was pissed because I felt like they were leaving me out. But had I heard that news during boot camp, that would have thrown me off. That's all I would have thought about. So I guess shy of a death in the family, because they have to be notified. Don't no drama. No, yeah, I talked to your sister today and she's still nothing. All positive from home. All positive letters. And many of them. I'm telling you, where's USMC Cece? Oh, she's busy right now. When she was in boot camp, the whole family, did we write every night? There's six of us and we all wrote. So there's 6 days a week at minimum. So she got tons of mail and that just kept her focused. Read, everything's great. We'll miss you. Keep getting after it. My letter was just like era, and era. So she could focus, right? Just maintain that focus. No bad news. Thank you, Lake Cookie. That's awesome. no, no news about Jody either. No news about Jody. Those of you that don't know, Jody is the boy back home taking your girlfriend. So yes, no drama, no bad news. Old Irene, his uncle, a Marine, of course, wanted to send a blow up doll. Luckily, my father, also a Marine, didn't allow it. Thanks, Dad. Yes. So, with that, we may have sent some stuff to some people in boot camp, like right on the outside of the box. Hey, which one of your DIs did you say was weak? Sergeant Jones? Which one? Which one could you beat up? Some little things like that, but don't send crap. And no bad news, right? You can mess with them a little bit, sure. All right. Menachem, wish me luck, people. I'm applying for my CCW in my lib state. Um, what's a CCW? Concealed carry weapon. Uh-oh. In a lib state. Are you in California? Good luck. Cannon 0311. Ra, Semper Fi Devil. Kelly OG says, my son is the youngest of six, so he'll get a lot of letters. There you go. That's it. Jody and Susie. Can we send pictures at boot camp? Great question. Yes, you can. Send a couple. Don't send a whole stack, but definitely send some pictures. And it depends on the drone instructor, the company, if they allow them to display them or not. And ours in the Foot Locker, you open your Foot Locker, we were allowed to put them on the inside of our Foot Locker. So when it's closed, you couldn't see anything. Um, but you can. The drone instructor will look at every single photo. So keep that in mind that when they feel a letter at mail call, they feel a letter has some photos or it's a little thicker than your average. The recruit opens it right in front of them with the pictures. The drone instructor has to look at every single one. And then he gives it back to him all good. So yes, send some pictures. We did, but they don't need anything else. Absolutely nothing else. If in a letter home I've been coughing, don't send cough drops. They have opportunity to get them. My knee hurts, don't send a knee brace, right? They have absolutely everything they need. They're 1000% taken care of. Anything they're asking for is it's a comfort item that they want. They don't need it, right? They have everything they need. The drill instructor will take care of them. They'll hold them and say, it's going to be okay. Your knee will be fine. Just don't worry about it. All right. Do they still have hog boards? I was going to say that, David. We did in boot camp. It was a hog board. For those of you that don't know, was a bulletin board somewhere in the quarter deck. that you were allowed to put a picture of your girlfriend out there. Hence the name Hogboard. And I don't think it's too politically correct nowadays. So even as a drill instructor, as a recruit, we had them, but as a drill instructor, it had already been phased out. But people get offended by the hogboard, but it was cool. It was fun. I did add a hogboard, and if the pic wasn't sultry enough, it didn't make the cut. My girlfriend, now wife, didn't make the cut. That was the hogboard. It was funny, but no, I don't. Again, with today's softness and weakness, all those things we talked about in the beginning of the show, we can't. Someone's feelings will get hurt. Kelly says, "Okay, thank you. Will he be allowed to call home in boot camp?" Another good question. Again, you got to watch all my shorts. I talk about phone calls home. They'll call it initially, the second, third, or fourth day they get there, whatever day receive your barracks, and that's a quick phone call. But your phone, there's phones up on the wall, and there's a template of what they say. Hi, mom, dad, I love you. I made it to MCRD San Diego, Paris Island. I'm safe. Please don't send me anything. I'll call you I'll write when I can. Boom, hang up. That's it. That's just to let you know they made it there safe and sound. Every company, every drill instructor is different. They should be allowed to make another phone call towards the end to work out travel arrangements, right? Or who's coming to graduation? Do I need to get a cab? Are you coming to whatever? So when you get there and right before you leave. Now, today with some the current Marines got to help me out. With cell phones, I've heard DIs using allowing a kid to use a cell phone maybe for emergency or something. There are phone centers or there's phones there was phones on both depots forever. I like when people go, I went 90. We didn't have no phones. Yes, you did. There's phone banks, there's pay phones, there's phones throughout the campus or throughout the base that was the drill instructor could authorize a recruit to use. Now, as a recruit, I got a phone call. I remember during Bugle Sticks, my senior drill instructor said, "You knock him out, I'll give you a phone call." Boom, knocked him out. So I did later that night. He wrote me a little 3x5. This recruiter is authorized to use that payphone. Use this. So I got to call home a couple of times. As a drill instructor, I did the same thing. All right, we're at combat hits, we're at boxing. You draw some blood, you can get a phone call. And I give a few out. So to answer your question, will he be able to call home? I'm going to say yes in the beginning and at the end. If he gets one throughout, that's up to his drill instructor. It's not SOP, it's not written in black and white. He may earn one, right? That's a possibility. So no, letters, 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 letters. Right. And like I said, I don't think not having a hog board is soft or weak. It's basic human decency. Yeah, but it's no, we there's no you don't show any skin. It's just the beauty of your girlfriend, someone you want to show off. And half the time, probably wasn't even their girlfriend. It's just motivation, is what it was. Menachem. Yeah, it human decency to keep these boys motivated. All right. So it's not hogboard sounds worse, and maybe it was. I don't know in the 50s or 60s, it may have been like that, but no, it was tasteful and it was fun, and it gave the recruits something to bag each other. But that's not your girlfriend. You're such a liar. It's your sister. Lay cookie feelings. We need to lose the feelings, PS, from our war fighters training. Feelings get in the way of learning. Be orders without question. Learning to follow orders without question. 100%. And nothing personal. I need you to attack that bunker. Period. Right there. Jay Wu, Hogboards kept us going. It was a source of um, motivation. Menachem, don't get all chaps on us already. Sorry about that. So let's question: can one come back from an NJP and still pick up in your first enlistment? Yes. To answer your question, easy answer: yes. He wants to know if you've been NJP, non-judicial punishment. You got in trouble, underage drinking, you got busted, right? Stealing, fighting, DUI, whatever the reason you got NJP could have something to do with your getting promoted during that first enlistment. But can you? Absolutely. Here's how it is. Here's what you got to do. Not pretend it didn't happen. but you have to move forward. You've received your punishment. You served your time. You got restriction. You got no pay dues, whatever. You got reduced in rank. Say you got maxed out on everything. Can you still get promoted before your EAS? Yes, you can. You can't be a good Marine anymore. You got to be the best Marine there is. So volunteer service, your rifle, pistol, PFT, all your scores, CFT need to increase. So you got to bust your ever loving, you know what, to be better than the best. Marine, you have to do it all. Prove to your chain of command that yes, you got knocked down, but you stood right back up. Let's go and get after it. So you have to, again, you got to go above and beyond. And you'll get the haters or you butt kisser, why you kissing butt, look at that fake moto. Yeah, high and tight, of course, your uniform, spotless, right? Shave every day, weekends, you're out there doing community service. If you have weekends off, doing stuff around the company office, a battalion, whatever, above and beyond. You got to go above and beyond and prove to your chain of command you made a mistake and it was a mistake. I've learned from that mistake and I'm ready to move on. Ever. Give me a chance. Part of the reason why I did, I wanted to stay in. That was part of my reasons for kept re-enlisting to get promoted, so I can take care of those Marines that did make a mistake. I told the story about a meritorious promotion board I was on, and my guy swept everything. Except he had a DUI like 5 years ago. And one of the guys on the board, one of the sergeants major brought it up. Well, you guy got a DUI. 5 years ago, it's 17 years old. He just came, are you kidding me? Let him live, right? Let him learn from his mistake. Great question, brother. Thank you. Yes, you can appeal your NJP and reduction in rank. I'm living proof. There you go. So one, if you were falsely accused or you false, because remember the commanding officer in an NJP is the judge and the jury and the executioner. So he's it. There's no board. There's no your sergeant major should be in the board with it and maybe a peer or your platoon commander something. But yes, if it needs to be appealed, appeal it. That's a different avenue. But if you did something wrong, got punished, said and done, there's no ifs, ands, or buts, then you do all the things I was talking about. If you shouldn't have been busted, you have to appeal it. All right. Um, excuse me. Lay Cookie, I went up and down, right? Living proof. So he got busted, got reduced, and got promoted. Got in trouble, got reduced again, but got promoted again. So more living proof that you can be busted, NJP'd in an enlistment and get promoted. Like it did it a couple times. All right. All of this politically correctness, woke ideologies, DEI, CRT, and affirmation action stuff only adds to the casualty rates on the battlefields. John McJunkin. Well said. We have no place for any of that stuff. Warfighters. That's what we are. And I joined back in after a seizure, Jay. Brad, you got to ask ask MEPS. I know you can ask your recruiter to ask MEPS, but that's a question for MEPS. It's a great question, and I hope so. I'm not sure. That's completely a medical situation. And if the answer is no, keep pushing and ask for a waiver. Right, you're gonna have to get your doctors involved, and you're probably gonna have to prove that's not gonna be a problem later on. It's not gonna hinder your ability to fight. So good luck, Jay Bradburn, and let us know. But there's a waiver. My belief, a waiver for everything. You can request a waiver. I not always get it. Peacetime is a little different. Be careful. Says Gun East. Like a sound advice, my advice is to stay out of trouble. I know someone is trying to get back in with 100% disability, says Menachem. Right? So don't let that stop you, how bad you want it. The staff sergeant is on deployment. He was relieved of duty. I missed the rest of that, brother. That moved way too fast for me. Yes. Say it one more time. I'm sorry. Ah. So somebody got in trouble in country, got shipped back to his home state, home unit, relieved of his duty. So what happened to that? So that's a good point. And we don't know is the answer. So the question was, somebody got in trouble, I'm guessing in country or on deployment, um, field operation, got in trouble on deployment, got sent back, relieved of his duties, whatever rank or position he was, got sent back to his home port. And you would know better than we would if he got punished or anything back then. But his punishment was being relieved of duty, right? Depending on what he got busted for. He got relieved of duty. What was his punishment? What happens beyond that? Only that Marine and his immediate chain of command knows. But there's some punishment there. Being fired is a big deal in the military, right? It can affect the rest of your promotion, the rest of your reenlistments if you want to stay in. So just being relieved enough sometimes is enough. God bless for fraternization with the Army, ordered not to, reduction in rank, promoted back 30 days later. Again, I'm telling you, these are not, there's no black and white answer to any of those questions. It's what you do after you've gotten in trouble, how you overcome. Muhammad Ali, right? Everyone knows who Muhammad Ali is, the greatest boxer of all times. I don't care who you are. You don't lose a fight if you get knocked down. You lose the fight if you don't get back up. That's it. Get up. Hit me 7 times and get up 8. That's a Bible quote. Peter Talk, what's your question? Let me say it again. Oh, so somebody's going in as an E2. Oh, Kelly OG, her son's going in as an OT. Congratulations. So he got a meritorious promotion or a contract promotion, one of many ways. If he was in JROTC for 2 years or more, 2 successful years or more, he would get automatic private first class E2. That's a contract promotion. If you work with your recruiter, you're a poolee, you're working with your recruiter, you get 2 other kids to join, you can get, I think they call that one a meritorious promotion. College credits can get you a meritorious promotion. So your son is already an E2. So when he graduates, he's going to have the PFC straps. He has an opportunity to graduate boot camp a Lance Corporal E3. If he's the guide and he's the number one in the entire company, he'll get one meritorious promotion. If he was a private, it would be to PFC. But he's already a PFC. So if he gets one promotion in boot camp, and there's only one per company, if he's that one, he'll leave boot camp as an E3, Lance Corporal. So good on him. However he got it, congratulations. But he earned it somehow, some way. He earned that promotion already before even going. So it looks good for him already. Uh, Looks like we may go to war. Carlos Cabrera said, will USMC make an exception for 50 years old to enlist? I'm praying that they do, Carlos, because I'm right there with you. I'll be your battle buddy. I don't think we're going to war anytime soon, but we shall see. Doc Holiday, what's up, Doc Holiday? Good to see you, brother. I don't even know how far are we into this one. We've been on this. We got into an NJP period of instruction, which is great. Some good questions. We started with the mandatory service, right? Should high school graduates be should it be mandatory for them to do some kind of service after high school? And the comments is what got me going. The replies to it were great. Kelly OG, college credits. There you go. So yes, he earned it and he has college credits already. So Kelly, make sure he continues his schooling while he's a Marine. Um, and let the government pay for it. Tuition assistance will pay for all of his classes as long as he maintains a C and above. Is that still correct? As long as you pass your classes, the government will pay. He should leave if he's already got college credits. If he's already has some college, he should have his bachelor's degree in no time, 2 years, I'm guessing. So he can. Michael Romero says, so I mean, just said something important. The more knowledge you have, the better off you'll be, especially if you want to make the Corps a military or a career, military a career. 100%. Never stop learning. We never, ever stop learning every single day, every live, every short I do, every time I'm reading comments. You can never stop learning. Never. So just like with Kelly's son, make sure he continues his college, right? You never stop learning. In fact, I'm getting ready to take a little more college. This year in service after graduation. God bless you, Doc. Always great to see you. What are you drinking tonight? I'm not telling you what I'm drinking. You see, it's a little color in that. It's again on the move. I found my shaker out of somewhere during the move and just added water to it. I think it might be a little era juice. Sermons, can I use my future GI Bill for my future kids? Menachem, yes. Yes, you can. And that's another great question. That's one for the people. I like that. Menachem, appreciate that. And yes, what I did with my GI Bill is as we had kids, I transferred some of my credits to them. Luckily, they hadn't needed them yet, so that's why when I tell you I think I'm going to go to school, I'm going to use my GI Bill finally the way it was supposed to be used because I didn't all this time. I didn't think I needed college because I was focused on the mission. I didn't think about today when I could use a higher degree. So I'm going to use them. But your family members can use your GI Bill. You can transfer months. And that's what I did. I transferred all my months to all my kids and my wife, and I kept one credit for myself, 1 month for myself, so you can move them. Check with your base education how it works today, because that's how it worked then. I had to come to a point where I had to use them or lose them kind of thing. So I spread them out. My kids didn't need, Kimi Cocoa Puffs. She was on a soccer scholarship. She was killing it. Second one went to community college. Third one's a Marine. Fourth one's going to A&M. Fifth one, I'm not sure where college she's going to, but I'm going to use them. So you can transfer them. Anyone can use them. It's a great program. Right there, Gun East. My son has all my GI Bill. So use it. You make sure somebody in your family uses it. Started enlisting last week at 50 years old. What'd they say? They didn't let you? There's a waiver for everything, but that might be a tough one. Right now, the waiver is to 32, I think officially. Remember the enlistment age 17 to 28. You can waive up to I think 32. But we know a Marine that we talked about on the show, 34. And they're getting ready they're discussing bumping that 32 up to 42. Waive it. You have to have a high first class PFT, I'm guessing first and foremost. Then he says you have to reenlist to transfer and have 4 years on contract. There you go. Thanks, Guns. So your GI Bill he's talking about. In order to transfer yours, you have to reenlist, I guess at least once and have 4 years on your contract. That's good to know. Didn't know you could transfer GI Bill. I had 10 years to use or lose. Yep. Again, I transferred all mine except one. And sure enough, nobody needed it. So I'm getting them all back and I'm going to use them. Michael Ramirez, I was able to get my associate's bachelor's and my master's degree. Use your education benefits. Amen. Congratulations, Michael. That's awesome. I love hearing it. I love seeing it. Too many times Marines say, well, I don't have time. I'm a grunt. I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. You have to make time. When they tell me that for anything, even my kids, I didn't have time. Did you sleep last night? Then you had time. Yes, you had time. Make time. It's changed now. It's the post 9/11 GI Bill. Um, but there's time. There definitely is. Don't use that excuse. Right? It's not going to be easy. Some MOSs are a whole lot easier than others, and that's makes the infantry angry. Well, he's a pogue. That's why he's got his triple masters and all theology and all this other because he has time. Well, that's what he chose. Ever more power to him. You too, Kelly, the OG. Stay strong when your son's in boot camp. Stay strong. The Marines will take care of him. Ever. And we'll welcome you into the Marine Corps family as soon as he gets out, as soon as he graduates boot camp. Ever. Uh, you don't have time, but you have time for the club, right? David Bryant. You have time to do other things. You have time to scroll on your phone. You have time to watch SFMF. right? You have time to sleep in. So yeah, you have time. GI Bill pays BAH by zip code, Anthony Alexander. What that means is you get basic allowance for housing. You get paid while you're going to school through the GI Bill. They're going to pay your housing allowance by zip code. So what do you think the most expensive ones are? California, they're ridiculously expensive on everything. Hawaii, same, right? So their bar's high though. Pick a good spot. Randall, thank you for those, and hello to Miss Ellie. Thank you, producer. Poolie Swisk asks, my old recruiter told me that MEPS found, dang it, there's nothing you can do except wait. So Poolie had a hearing deficit in his or her left ear, and now you got to wait. Now you got to wait. There's really nothing you can do. Your hearing doesn't get any better. So it's going to be the needs of the Corps. I wish you luck. Um, what they need to consider is, I think every Marine that gets, I think every Marine period has tinnitus by the time they get out and hearing loss. So I don't think that should stop you. I don't. Unfortunately, I'm not MEPS, but there's nothing you can do. Keep asking for a waiver. Keep asking for a waiver. It's yeah. I wish you luck. I hope it works out. I don't think that should be a showstopper personally. But good luck. Menachem, I'm going to do my evening prayer now. Hopefully, I'll see y'all soon. Menachem, please continue to pray for all of us here on this channel, all our family, all of our friends, and for yourself, brother. Don't forget forget about yourself. But amen. Menachem, thank you, brother. God bless you. Um, so hearing aids now, Gunny. So I've seen Marines still active duty with hearing aids, but that's I'm guessing that's after they're in, right? Then they have it. I lost my hearing years ago, and it's gone down ever since. But while I was a Marine, I never got issued the hearing aids. It wasn't until after. So can they enlist with hearing aids? Is the question. Guns, do you happen to know that? Um, Zach, man, I guess what I was curious to learn about. Would you rather not discuss? I can't understand, but we're really like to know whatever happened to that stop sign. I don't know who you're talking about, or do I know? Do I know specifically? Yeah, we got to get more information, and we wouldn't know him here unless we know that staff sergeant and the rest of the details. Every older Marine I know has hearing loss. Randall Knapp, I'm with you. Every single Marine, every Marine, to include me. And mine is in my right ear. I'm right-handed, so that shooting, you don't always have an opportunity to put in hearing protection, nor do you always want it. I know they have noise cancellation and they have better hearing protection now, but there's way too many times I didn't put in hearing protection, so my right ear is shot. The hearing aids do help. Um, the ringing in the ear, it never stops. We live with it now. It's annoying and sometimes painful, but it's always there. Tinnitus, 10%. You get 10% disability right off the bat with tinnitus, and I gotta imagine. I think every Marine, single Marine has tinnitus by the time they get out. So definitely part of your exit strategy, get your hearing checked. Then he said, yes, I said first that I joined with, dang it. What did Adam he say? Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So gonna each join with one bad ear. Whoever asking that question, I doubt you can list with any medical issues. Waivers are subjective. Facts, Anthony. But you just saw Gunny East. Adam East is a gunnery sergeant. He joined with a bad ear. So, right, it's possible. Charles Boyer, good evening, everyone. I'm a incoming senior in high school thinking about the Marine Corps when I graduate. Does anyone know about the different paths to becoming an officer? You're in the right place, brother. This is where you need to be. Yes, everyone here, most everyone here knows each path to take. And I'll tell you, one is college, One is ROTC. If you haven't been in JROTC in your high school, join it this last year and then apply for an ROTC scholarship. Get to one of the service academies. If you don't get the ROTC scholarship, do your best, SATs, everything. Watch some of the past shows. We've been talking about it a lot because CC number 4 received an ROTC scholarship. She's received numerous scholarships. She's going to Texas A&M Corps of Cadets to become a Marine officer. So that's one path. But there's many. There's many. You can enlist, be an enlisted Marine after your first 4 years, apply for the commissioning program. College. College has to be a part of it. Somehow you have to have a college degree to become an officer. So hang out in the channel, ask tons of questions. You'll get all your answers here. But good on you. Good on you. And good luck in your senior year. Go for it. SATs are important. SAT study, take tests, SATs for dummies. Get your SAT score as high as you possibly can. I'm talking 13, 1400s. All right. My dad worked on an A4 Skyhawk in Okinawa. Love Okinawa. Academies, gig 'em. Where you at? Annie Banani. Let's go. There's you right there, Annie Banani. Let's go. Come on. Pull up a stool. You want to talk some college stuff? Right there. Gunny just told you, gig 'em. Come on. Zach man, a fellow Marine, a great friend, retired as a master gunnery sergeant. We were great friends. Master guns. Love them. Got a couple shorts about Sergeant Major, not verses, but Sergeant Major and Master Guns. Awesome rank. Last live for a while. Oh, it is. That's why. Let's go. Do y'all want Annie Banana to come on? She's getting ready to leave. I won't tell you where, but it's for 2.5 weeks for a prep school, if you will, prior to the Corps of Cadets. So do we want her on so she can talk about it a little bit? Yes, guns. Right there with the producer. Work that out with the producer, David Bryant. Absolutely. The national here, Baudet says that national scholarship for ROTC is the easiest. Good to know. Annie Banani is going to come on the last 30 minutes of the show. She's going to grace us with her presence. Good. All right. Anthony Alexander says you don't need a degree to become an officer. Can be commissioned on MISA. It requires no degree. MISA, and that's Marine Commissioning. What MISEP is, Commissioning Enlisted Program. All right, Poolie Flannery asks, my ESSA score is 92. Awesome. But my recruiter told me I still might not qualify for the new, what was John McJunkins, the rest of it? Wow, 92 is high. I don't know if that's correct information or not. I know 92 is very high, and I would think that it would qualify for it. MEPS, call MEPS and find out. Right? Your recruiters, they, I don't know the chain of custody of it, but they get their information from MEPS, so they deal directly with MEPS. Um, I don't think he would tell you bump scoop, but I would check it out. Call MEPS and find out. Baudet, incorrect. You don't have to have a degree, or you do. Oh, MESEP are those that get degrees. Are there to get degrees. They join our ROTC program and go to class just like the young midship. So, but at the end of the day, you're going to have a degree as an officer. Wrong about MESA, says Ganesh. You are enlisted. The Corps sends you to college to get a degree and you commission. Yes. So a degree comes with it. Thanks for clearing that up. Yes. So all commissioned officers right now have degrees. Right. So college is a big part of it. And it works. All right. So before we get Annie Benani on, we're gonna move to our transition, our PCS move, if you will. PCS, permanent change of station, and that has changed. So I'm gonna need Gunny, you gotta back me up on this one also. When you got orders to a new duty station, right? You're coming up to the end of your 3 years, let's say, or you put in for orders, however you got your orders, you're getting ready to leave one duty station and go to another. With those new orders come your check out of everywhere, of course, and start checking into your new duty station. But you have to move your household goods. If you're a single Marine, you pack up your barracks room. TMO still comes, picks it up, and sends it away. It's maybe one crate full of stuff. Depends on what rank you are, how much stuff you have. Or you can do what they call a Diddy move. You pile it all in your car, your truck, and you drive to your new duty station, unless you're going to Okinawa or Hawaii, for instance. So it has to be shipped. As a family, married Marines, TMO used to come, you work through TMO Transportation Management Office. They set it up with their local moving company, and you just got to prepare your house. Pretty simple. You unplug everything, empty the trash, move stuff away from the wall. Things you want to carry with you on the airplane or your car to get there, you keep that with you, right? You put that away so they don't pack it. And you even have an express shipment if you're going overseas. This is the stuff I want the first 2 weeks after I get there, because the rest of your stuff might take a month or two. So three piles. What I'm keeping on my body, what I want in 2 weeks, and what I want in 2 months. Right? The rest of your household good, beds, dressers, TVs, all that stuff. And the day the movers arrive, guess what you do? You stay out of the way. Stay out of the way. They pack up everything just like it is. They wrap dishes up, put them in paper, put it in a box, put it on a crate, all your stuff. They empty every drawer. So if you did leave trash in a trash can somewhere, guess what? They're packing that trash can full of trash, packing up. They're moving through that. It's like, whew, now everything's in wood crates on the back of a truck is gone. You won't see that for 2 months. But it's great, right? The best way you can help them is give them some cold water and stay out of their way, because they got a system. They know what they're doing. And you get there, your express shipment comes smaller, maybe one crate or so. You have poundage to it. The movers come, they unload that, and you put the stuff away. It's normally typically clothes, and if you have a stroller, if you have babies, cribs, maybe stuff you'll need right away. The rest of your stuff comes in 5 or 6 crates, depending on if you're a pack rat or not. When those crates come and they unload it, the best thing you can do to help them is to stay out of the way again and let them do their thing. They unload everything. They put beds back together. They put dishes back in the cupboard. A lot of times, most of the time, and I think a lot of families like, just leave it right there in the kitchen. I'll take care of the rest. But you have tons of boxes, tons of wrapping paper. And even after they're done, you're done unloading everything. They come and pick all the boxes and wrapping paper up. I'm telling you, it's easy. It's stressful just because you're moving to a different state or country, but they make it easy for you, as easy as possible. You check if something was broken, you fill out a claim. Hey, and we did. We had our big screen. That is when the big screens were like this wide. It was like 800 pounds. Had a crack in it. We claimed it, and they repaired it. I think it was a longer story than that, but you claim things if they break something. Beautiful system. They changed it now. I think the only difference now is you find the local mover, you get reimbursed. It still happens that way, but you find the mover, you coordinate it, you work out the dates and times and places and drop off and pick up and all that, and then you get reimbursed later. So I think it still happens. The difference now when you're out is not only are you the mover and the electrician and the plumber and the driver and the storage guy and the U-Haul truck driver, you and your family take care of all that. So it is one of those things you don't know what you got till it's gone. Because after so many PCS moves, it was, oh yeah, TMO will be here. Get out of the way. We became accustomed to it and expected it. When you get out, that stuff there. You can ask Kimi Cocoa Puffs what it's been like these last couple weeks of moving and loading and filling a U-Haul truck and unload it only to fill it again and unload it again. And oh, by the way, you're paying for that truck and how long you keep it and the storage if you're moving it some into a storage. into a house, and then the truck's got to be back at a certain time, and still that's like renting a car, the gas and the mileage and all that stuff takes place. You learn to appreciate people's jobs and what people do. These are for the professionals. I was telling Kimi a story about when I think I was about 14 or 15. I was in high school, and we moved around a lot as a family for various reasons. I won't disclose now, but we moved at one point. We lived in a big two-story house. I'm like, wow, this is great. I had my own bedroom for like a couple weeks till my parents moved somebody in, probably for some rent money. We went from that big house to a condo. And when they told me, I was like, wow, a condo. I've never lived in a condo. That sounds cool. But it was this two-story condo. That's how condos typically are, right? Up and down. And me and my friends were moving. All the stuff that fit into a house, we were trying to shove it into a two-story condo. And there was this ladder stairwells that was unreal. So I remember at one point throughout that move, and it was about a 3-hour drive from one house to the other. And we couldn't afford a moving truck. So this was my brothers and their friends pickup trucks and cars and mattresses on top of a Cadillac type of thing, that type of move. And I remember at that one point in time, I hadn't even thought about the Marine Corps yet. I was still young. But I remember trying to get this dresser or something up this ladder well with me and two other buddies, and we're sweating. No AC. This was California. It's hot, and that it didn't fit in the ladder well, of course, because it was too sharp of a U-turn trying to get up these stairs, and we're banging the walls in our cells. And told myself at that point, I even said it out loud to my friends, this is the last time I'm ever going to do a self move. I'm never moving another piece of furniture for the rest of my life. And who knows how many times, but that has to be about 80 moves ago. So you're moving. You're moving. You're going to do some moving throughout your lifetime. Some of you have probably already moved quite a bit in the military. You're going to be moving. Okinawa, we were there 6 years. I think we moved 5 times, right? On base, off base, on base, off base. I got from northern Okinawa to southern Okinawa. So you're going to do some moving. Get used to it. You learn how to carry things a certain way. What's easy to move, what's hard to move, what you want to avoid. That's going to help, yeah, help you purchase stuff, right? And love that cabinet, but man, it looks heavy. And it'll come up to us right there. There's Kimi Cocoa Puff. It's the mover. She's the moving company, right? If you need someone that, in fact, anybody needs help moving, call Kimi. So be glad to come help you. I'm telling you, our hands are raw, our forearms are tight. Uh, did some moving. All right, Manaka. Awesome. Pray for you and the whole family and the SFMF family. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Man. Ah. All right. So yes, that moving primarily is done. Um, but there'll be more. I already know there'll be more. Can't wait. Can't wait for the next move. All right. And tell her, John, killed it. Awesome. Mike Aggie, are you an Aggie? Are you an officer or enlisted? Hmm. I'm enlisted. What makes you unsure? Geez, even in Okinawa, you moved like that? Yes, I'm telling Okinawa. Okinawa was that was self-induced because we wanted to live in the community. We got there on island. We lived on base first, no, off base first, right? Lived in the community. We were there 6 years, so I was in 3 different units when I got there, or throughout the 6 years. So we moved bases. So you're supposed to live near your base. My first duty station was Camp Hansen, all the way up north. So it was the nearest base was like a 45-minute drive, Camp Courtney, but we wanted to live near Camp Hansen and in the community, right? To experience living amongst. the Okinawans, and it was awesome. We absolutely loved it. I worked at the academy, then I worked on Camp Foster. I worked on Camp Foster? Kinzer. Yeah, stayed on Camp Hansen for about 4 years, different units from the academy to 9th ESB, right? And then I got promoted. That's when I got promoted the first time. I went down to Kinzer. So while we're stationed all the way southern Okinawa, we stayed on Camp Foster for a little bit. So 2 times on base, 2 times off base. Yeah, yeah. And again, we probably didn't have to move ever, but we wanted to experience a different base. We want to experience a different lifestyle living in the community. It was awesome. What was it? So right here, this Bodette. Oh boy, or but it looks like Bodette is answering yes. Yes, they get their EGA at OCS, but won't get their commission until they meet graduation requirements. Yeah, all good information, and that's what we're getting ready to live with Annie Banani here shortly. So she is, from what I understand and what I'm seeing in the comments, so they get their Eagle Globe and Anchor at OCS, but they won't get their commission until they meet graduation requirements. Is that the same time? Um, Snowball, what's your MOS and what MOS do you recommend? Infantry era. I was a combat engineer at 1371. Spent the other half of my career in the infantry, and I highly recommend infantry. Doc Holiday, Semper Fi, brother. Can't stay long, but just want to say God bless. God bless to you, Doc. Always appreciate you, brother. Thanks for hanging out while you can and when you can. Always appreciate you, Doc. Semper Fi, brother. We'll see you again soon. We'll see you soon. Oh, Sergeant Major, what was your rank? I got the old big chicken dinner, Aggie. After coming back and getting scuffled with NCO, I felt betrayed by the Corps. Wow. Of course, without hearing the entire story, sorry to hear that. You got a BCD for getting in a fight with an NCO. Seems pretty extreme on the surface. But again, there's way more to that story than any of us will ever know. Willie Flannery asks, Kimi, great question. So he wants to know, can he graduate boot camp, go help his recruiter during those 10 days of leave? Because yes, everyone goes on 10 days of leave. Can he go to his recruiting office and help wearing his uniform, kind of like recruiter assistance during his leave? That'll be up to your recruiter for one. I can't answer that, but I recommend you don't. Enjoy your leave, relax, unwind, let your hair down a little bit, but just chill. Use a majority of that leave for leave. If your recruiter would like some help and he can get you on recruiter assistance for 30 days, 100% I recommend that as well. Get officially on recruiter's assistance. I don't know what he could do for you if you're just helping out and you get somebody to enlist. And the recruiters can work magic. So get with your recruiter and say, hey, during my 10 days leave, I don't have much to do. I say hi to my family, but I'd like to help you out. Again, work that out with your recruiter. But good on you for wanting to do that. But spend a little time for you after boot camp first. And once that gets old, because it'll get old, a couple days, then you're gonna want to you got to get back into it. So do both, but don't forfeit all of your leave. My recommendation. Okay, okay, good one. What was my favorite rank? Um, Let me answer Doc's, and I'll definitely answer that. Oh, what did Doc say? This past Wednesday we were not. Oh, coming up. Come. What's the date? Wednesday. Let me ask the producer. I don't even know what today's date is. 14, 15, 16, 17. We're gonna be traveling, right? No live on Wednesday night, and Annie Banani is gonna tell you why. but no live this coming Wednesday. Master Guns Lewis, what's up, brother? How you doing? Good to see you. Yeah. How you been? What are you doing now? Master Guns Lewis. Um, Mike Aggie says Lance Corporal was the best. What was my favorite rank? Who asked that? Grimy Dog? What was my favorite rank? Sergeant. Here's the thing, when people ask you, what's your favorite rank? I think personally, Sergeant Major. That's what I retired as. That's what I wanted to obtain. And everyone wants to get promoted. I absolutely loved being a sergeant, but I didn't want to stay a sergeant forever. But what I loved about being a sergeant was, again, Lance corporals are the backbone. Corporals are the backbone. Sergeants, I truly believe, are the backbone of the Corps. For me personally, I think it's probably because I was that rank the longest. I was a sergeant for 5.5 years, but that's also when I went to Mountain Leaders Course summer, Mountain Leaders Course winter. I was a drill instructor. I went to McQuist. I was at MCIWS. I did so much as a sergeant. I think that's my memories of the best rank in the Corps. My time, right, was all those. I accomplished so much as a sergeant, and I didn't get passed over for staff sergeant. I wasn't slow to promote. That was the needs of the Corps at the time. 5 years was average. I have buddies that were 6 years, 6.5 years as in that one rank. It was that time in the Marine Corps. So I didn't mind it. I didn't mind being a sergeant for that long because the second half of my career was skyrocket. I was a staff sergeant for 2.5 years, a gunny for 2 years, first sergeant for even less. So it eventually caught up, and it works out. Needs of the Corps, right? But sergeant absolutely was my very favorite rank. Doc's got to run. God bless all of you. See you Sunday. Let me know. Let me know when you're in California. Definitely will do, Doc. Or I'm telling you, the helicopter's coming to a halt very soon, and you'll know when you see our studio set up. But we'll definitely let you know. Semper Fi, Doc. God bless you, and we'll see you soon next Sunday. Are they considered Marines at that point, or not until they are officially commissioned? Commissioned. Another good question. Poolee, will they get one more Poolee, and then we'll bring on Annie Banani. Judge Major, can you wear their dress blues to parents' 20th wedding vows renewal? Can you wear your dress blues? So, as an active duty Marine, can you wear your dress blues or your blue dress uniform to a wedding? Yes, you absolutely can. Excuse me. Here's the uniform policy in a nutshell. You cannot wear off base, you cannot wear camis or blue dress alphas. So, your most junior uniform, we call it camis, or your most senior uniform, blue dress alphas. You cannot wear those two for leave or liberty, right? And we won't get started on the wearing the camis out in town. Army says they can, they cannot, they do, right? They do all the time, Walmart. So you can wear your blue dress alphas if in alphas, as you know, is with medals. That's the difference between the blue dress, ribbons and badges, or blue dress alpha is with medals. You can wear them to ceremonies, weddings, obviously the Marine Corps birthday ball celebration. If you go to a Navy ball, you can wear that uniform to your own wedding, but you definitely can wear that to your parents' wedding anniversary. Yes. Look sharp, represent, have somebody check you out, make sure it's top notch. There we go. Ready? Right on time. Old Jyrene wore blues to his wedding. All right. Old Jyrene getting some. Master boys and Army do it all the time. Army, again, I watched another show where it was, yeah, I don't remember what YouTube, I think it was Jameson's Travels. Army doesn't wear their uniform off base. They're not allowed to. Yes, they do to McDonald's. You see them shopping at Walmart. Oh no, it was somebody, an off-duty soldier in civilian clothes was following a recruiter, a army recruiter in his camis, and he was like dogging him. He was being rude. I said I didn't like the confrontation or how he confronted him. It's like, oh yeah, Sergeant First Class Sergeant, why you? He was following him while he was shopping with his wife. And the recruiter's like, bro, leave me alone, man. I'm a recruiter. I'm on my way home. People were sticking up for the recruiter. He's a great recruiter, good soldier. He does what he has to do. He's on his way home. He works in the community. Of course, he's going to be in camis. But the other guy was like, Army regulation, so and so, no camis. So they were going back and forth. But the comments is what really got me because a lot of soldiers were like, "Yeah, we're not supposed to, but we do." Okay, I'm a sergeant major. I'm not supposed to, but I'm not going to change over to go get groceries. I'm yeah, the rules there. It's kind of there. It's kind of not. Some soldiers like we never do it. Marines don't. They just don't. I've told the story 1,000 times. I've been in the Marine Corps. I've been a Marine for decades. I've seen two Marines, and they were both emergencies. One was buying a car seat for his baby so he can just get on base, and one didn't even finish his routine. He went through a drive-through. His order was wrong. Got out of his vehicle because you can go through a drive-through. Got out of his vehicle to fix his order. He saw me. We just made the eye contact. Got back in his vehicle and took off because Marines don't do it. Everyone else does, but you can wear your blue dress uniform to that ceremony. All right. Is it time? Are we ready? Y'all ready? Annie Banani. This will be her last live for a while, and then a little break, and then she'll be back again. I don't know, but this might be it. Getting ready to go on an extreme, not extreme. We'll see. She's gonna turn it into an extreme. She's gonna make it Annie Banani style. She's gonna do it SFMF style. Era. All right. So let me bring her on. Let's make sure we're both in here, and I don't hog the screen. Annie Banani. Me. Those of you that don't know, this is CC number 4, and she's getting ready to go to college. She got the NROTC scholarship, Marine option, and she's going to Texas A&M Corps Cadets. But before that, she's got to go somewhere first. Tell her. I'll let her tell you about it. Take it away. Do you say hi to everybody first? Hold on. Sound is no go. Here, where am I? Thank you. Thank you.
Oh no. Gotta start over now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Can I hear you? Okay. Okay, so new student indoctrination or NSI is 2.5 weeks of training and it's mandatory for all students on the Navy ROTC scholarship, 4-year scholarship. So just 2.5 weeks of training in Great Lakes, which is the same it's not the same base, is it? It's the same training center as the Navy boot camp, but it's not in the same. Oh, they said they can't hear me. It says no sound. That's
That's
no sound at all? Okay, okay. Um, um, and that's about it. Just 2.5 weeks. I don't exactly know what we're gonna be doing. I'm just imagining a lot of PT. That's all I can really think about. Probably a lot of instructional class time, but I don't know exactly what to expect. Can you hear him? Okay. The packing list, it just says, oh, I don't want to be this close. Okay, what's on the packing list? Um, it just said sweats, running shoes. It was very minimal, which surprised me how small it is. Like I know it's a short amount of time, but they must be either doing laundry a lot or providing clothes because it didn't say to bring a lot of clothes. Um, all I know is that as soon as oh, and the plane ride is provided, like, it was paid for by the Navy, so I don't have to pay for the plane, and once I get to the USO, once I land in Illinois, they're gonna take my phone, so I won't have my phone until I graduate. Um, and the packing list was really small. All it said was to just, like, don't bring any, like, electronic devices other than your phone. Do not use the AirPods.
Yes, take them out. And then we'll just plug them up. Let us let us know if you can hear now with no earbuds, and we'll just use the phone sound. Check mic 1 2. Check mic. Can you hear? So,
Okay.
yeah, it's good.
Okay, it's good,
We
it's
can
good,
hear. We
it's
can hear.
good.
What's this problem called? I got distracted by a sound problem. All right. So here's what I want to say about NSI. What I'm gathering from it, because we watched one video of a graduation, and I think it's a pre, and some of you may know better than all of us. This is all new to us, and that's why we're going to go to graduation. I want to check it out. But I think it's primarily for everyone going to a service academy or like Corps cadets who didn't do ROTC, who don't know basic drill or physical fitness, who don't normally PT in their daily routine. So not that she's all that, but I don't think she'll have a problem with it. But I think it's a great start to, all right, senior graduate, you're on your own. Boom, we're dropping you off because there's no communication while they're going. It's only 2.5 weeks. It's nothing. It's a piece of cake. But 2.5 weeks with no phones, no communication back home. And even this base that I was reading the rules to getting on this base, you have to have 5 forms of ID, and if you have no business on there, they won't let you on. It seems like a very secure base, like I think all bases should be. But it sounds so far reading the literature like it's gonna be a 2.5 week of some you know what and you know what kicking butt and taking names. So I hope it is, and I think it's going to set all of them up for success when they do go to the Corps Cadets. Is it just this is just the ones going to A&M?
No, I don't know it's not because people are flying from all over the country they have 3 cycles throughout the summer. And I'm going into the 3rd cycle, so this is the last cycle, and it's people from all over the country, but they have the same NRTC scholarship. Can I read that comment?
Yes. That's
Okay.
Carrie Polonsky. What's up, Carrie?
Oh, hi! My son went through the program last summer. When you go to graduation, plan ahead. It takes an hour to get in there. Once you get off the freeway, it's intense. Oh no!
Nice.
I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Good. Tell him we said congratulations. Isn't it a sub base? Is it a submarine base? Is that why it's so security seems tough? I'm pretty impressed by reading it. We'll see when we get there.
It says, fun fact with NSI, there are upper class midshipmen there that help facilitate the program.
That's cool too. So yeah, the upper class midshipmen run it. All right. Okay, what else? What other questions about NSI? All new to us. I'm telling you, we're all learning as we go. How about the Foot Locker, Carrie? Did your son get the Foot Locker? That there's an option on there to purchase a Foot Locker or not, but it's optional, which I thought was weird.
That's for college.
Oh, that's not NSI?
No, that's for college.
All right. Okay, read this one.
Cadet Nakamura asks, good evening, ma'am. Upon arrival at Military Academy, is there an orientation day before the other Corps cadets take charge of your class? There should be. At a military academy? Orientation day.
I got to believe there is with all the military academies. In fact, we went and visited the Naval Academy, and that's like a pre orientation day. I'm sure all academies do that just to say, is this really what you want to do? Check it out. And then I'm sure because A&M has an orientation day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
2.5 weeks, no phone. Enjoy that disconnect. I'm excited.
That's what I'm saying, Lay Cookie, right? Nothing. Mark, say it again if it was good.
Most universities have a 1 week new student orientation, which is true, but I don't know about military academies. What I've learned is that military service academies are very different from college. They have a lot of differences.
See that from Carrie?
I ordered the Foot Locker for A&M. You won't need anything for Great Lakes to give it all to you. Make sure your money card works. You hear that?
Yeah, you like her ATM card, or do they give them a money card there? And can you give her a money card, Carrie? Can we just use yours?
What else is on the packing list? It was very, very minimal.
I just think 2.5 weeks. What could they get done in 2.5 weeks? So it's got to be intense. It has to be because the graduation was. I'm telling you, the graduation video was huge. It looked like they had been there for like 6 months, maybe except for the quality of drill. But it was a big deal. Lots of families going. So it's a huge accomplishment. She has to bring a $300 card. Okay. Will you send us that card, Carrie? So looking forward to it. We'll keep you posted on our or we won't even, because we won't be posted. Right? How do we find out what's going on? But that's next week. Right? So she'll be offline for a while.
She said, and yes, I would give it to her because she's worth it. Thank you,
You're
ma'am.
the best, Carrie.
Oh, I want to read it. Cadet Lexington asks, good evening, ma'am. Do the military academies have a MEP style of medical processing? I don't know about MEP style. I haven't been to MEPS, but I do know that it's super thorough. You have to get a lot of checkups. You have to get what's called optical checkup. You have to get a dental checkup, and you have to get a full body physical. They check everything for the full body physical. So I think that's similar to MEPS, right? I haven't been to MEPS.
She hasn't done MEPS. MEPS, as you know, is typically for enlisted, right? When you sign a contract, enlistment, you go first time, make sure everything's square, and then you go back a second time, right before you ship off to boot camp. Menachem, he's on the officer's side. He's doing something different, but he also had to go to MEPS, so it's definitely going to be part of your career.
I just know that for MEPS, you have to go to the station, right? You have to go. It's a place you go to. But for medical processing, for applying to service academies, you don't have to go. I mean, the only place you have to go is the doctor's office. You do have to go to the doctor's office. You have to go. There's a specific office they want you to go to depending on your location, like where you live. They want you to go to a specific doctor to get the full body physical. I'm pretty sure. Remember?
Yeah, that's what you did.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to go to a specific place.
Yeah, it is. That's a lot more intense too than I thought of. All the medical and dental requirements for A&M or for the scholarship.
For the service academies.
For the service academies.
I think the scholarship and the service academy both actually. It's DOD-MERB, so it's everything under DOD-MERB it's like a whole record of your eyesight, dental, and then full body physical. They want to make sure that you don't have any injuries or anything wrong with you before you go in, so you can't say that it was from training.
Right there, Duke Wild said just that. Thank you, brother. DOD-MERB, private doctors that are certified by the government to administer DOD-MERB, ROTC, and service academies. Again, it's pretty intense. I enlisted, went through MEPS did everything, right? What they didn't do, they did it for me at boot camp when we went. But yeah, it was pretty intense, and I'm pain in the butt, but I'm glad to know that they're doing that.
Good evening, man. When you get assigned your quarters, can you bring your computer, stereo, and game system in there? I'm assuming talking about A&M, because at A&M, I don't think you can. Just at least not your first year. For sure, not your freshman year. There is a packing list for the Corps of Cadets for A&M, and the packing list said, you know, you can't bring, like, it was very limited. They basically just want you to bring clothes and a Foot Locker. They don't want you to bring a lot of personal things like um, game system. I know I got to look in the upperclassmen's rooms. I didn't see, I think I saw one of them had a TV, but I think it's very, very minimal. The dorms are pretty small, and they like to, they do inspections every single morning to make sure everything's squared away. So
Yeah,
I'm not sure entirely, but I won't have anything my first year.
if you don't need it, no, if you need it, they'll issue it to you. If you don't bring it. Carl Green, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Just back from dinner at the Dave. Great stories. I bet. We talked about in the very beginning of the show, the disabled American veterans. We talked about spending time with veterans. Good on you, Carl, and good to see you. Excuse me, we're getting ready to wrap this up.
I like what he said. For the Corps at A&M, it's based on privileges as you rank up, which sounds right.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I just know first year you don't really have much. Like I got to look inside of the fish dorms, which is a freshman, and they're just completely empty. Like all they have is 2 beds, some cabinets at the top, and then a sink. And you can't have anything on the sink. Beds have to be made. Everything. It looks like an empty dorm almost.
Like a dude. It's a great time. Loved my fish year. That's
Oh
good.
man.
Starting from the bottom. Matthew Ashkin, thanks, brother. Appreciate you. I saw you're doing double tap, everyone. Double tap. Duke, here's what I'm not worried about her starting at the bottom, but she's going from being the commander of an Army JROTC unit where she was in charge of everybody and everything. So to go from that to being a fish can be tough on people. You're at the top, right? And now you got to start back at the bottom. So, and she knows, right? She's mature enough to realize that, but good to hear that you liked your fish year. That's awesome. What do you do? What's the PNS, Matthew? Your friend Colonel Jerry Smith was the PNS at A&M. Oh, he was your CO. What position is that at A&M? Right there, Duke. Take advantage of the mentorship you can get for A&M.
I want to read it.
Reardon.
Good evening, ma'am. What are the main differences from A&M's military academy and say Annapolis or West Point? Is it like VMI? VMI is not a service academy; it's a college, so it would be more similar to A&M. So I think the main differences is that people say this a lot. I don't know personally because I haven't gone to either, but people say that when you go to college and do ROTC, it's more like part-time, because I think whenever I did get to spend a day at A&M and I got to spend a day at Naval Academy, and they're similar, but A&M, you know, it's similar to the service academy because you have the camaraderie. You are mainly with other cadets, but your classes are kind of all over the place. They have a lot of different classes you can take, a lot of different majors, and I think it's unique because you get to experience more with people who aren't cadets. You get to kind of step away from the ROTC side of it, and also, you know, you have, I'm not sure about freshman year, but you have weekends to yourself. I know at service academies, it's like almost constant learning about, you have to take a class on military training, and at Naval Academy, you study a lot about naval science, and they have a lot of STEM majors, and it seems like it's a lot more constant because you're constantly with cadets, and most of the teachers are prior military service, some even officers. So I feel like it's just like very constant there, which is a good thing. It depends on what's more of your feel, I think.
In Corps Cadets, there's no just Corps Cadets. You're not obligated to any military service after. So everyone in the Corps Cadets is not going into the service after. That's a big difference. Also, I didn't understand the difference until she started looking into it, but I didn't know that. That's interesting to me. So someone could spend 4 years in the Corps of Cadets and not join one of the branches of the military, right? Interesting.
Mhm.
Uh,
And service academy, like it says, you're essentially committed because, and also what I learned is that if you are going to the USNA and planning to be a Marine, it's extremely competitive. It's very hard because they want you to go Navy, but they do take a select few into Marine Corps. But again, it's very selective. So if you were to do ROTC in college, you would basically have that guaranteed to you once you sign your contract.
which is what somebody just asked.
Yeah, you want to ask that?
Yeah, what made, as a female going to a military, going into the military, what made you pick Texas A&M?
Okay, okay. So, well, I think the schools that I've always really been interested in was Texas A&M, West Point, and the Naval Academy. And Naval Academy was my dream school for a very long time. Um, I was first interested in A&M because my JRTC instructor talked to me about it and he introduced it to me. And going and living in Texas, they're extremely what's the word? Just very prideful. Pro Texas. Yes, they're pro Texas, pro A&M. They're just very prideful in A&M. So I would see it a lot whenever I would go anywhere. I was kind of surrounded by it, but it always interested me. And being in JRTC and knowing about the Corps of Cadets, and knowing it's one of the best programs in the nation, also caught my attention. And they also had the major that I really wanted. I like that it's in Texas. I love Texas. And as I looked more into it, I was really interested in it. I was also interested in the military academies because once I figured out that ROTC and going into the Marine Corps was what I wanted to do, I just knew that's what I wanted to do. I want to be an officer. And the Naval Academy, West Point, it's known as like the military academy, but people can argue if it's the most prestigious, if it's the hardest to get into, if it's the best. But the Naval Academy is great because I really wanted to go into the Marine Corps, and they take a select few to go into the Marines. And when I visited there, I really liked it. I thought it was amazing. It's a huge campus, so much history. But at the end of the day, what came down to my final decision was, and I also like the service academies how it's constant. You know how, like I said, it's all encompassing and you're surrounded by it 24/7. I really like the idea of that, but what it came down to was the the major, because they did not have the major I wanted at Naval Academy. Even though I had thought about just settling for one, I don't recommend doing that. I think your major is actually really important, and A&M has a large variety, and I really wanted to study forensic science, so I'll be doing that A&M. I really like the location of A&M being in Texas. I like being in Texas, and I have some family there, um, and I feel like I've been committed to it for longer, if that makes sense. Like I've always had it in my head. And then another big thing about it is how hard I worked for the scholarship. And multiple scholarships, I had to work hard for a lot of different ones, and it would just hurt so much to throw them all away. Like I know they would go to someone else, but I had worked so hard for all of them, and I worked very hard to get into service academies, but it was just so rewarding to know I had received the ROTC scholarship and all of the other scholarships that came in, that I'm very grateful and very blessed to have even like the opportunity to make a decision between the two and to have received so much help. So at the end of the day, that's what it came down to for Texas A&M, and I'm so excited.
Awesome. Good. That's all good to hear. I didn't even know all that. She's never explained to us like that, but that's good. And that obviously makes us feel comforting to know that it wasn't well, I guess I'll just do this. It wasn't a fallback. It wasn't well, if I can't do this, because she got both the West Point and the Naval Academy for the
Prep school.
prep school on both of them. So she could have pursued both of them. She had an option to pursue both of them. So to know that she picked A&M 100% for all those reasons is even better.
I missed the John McJunkin question.
He just said someone asked their.
My sister and I plan on attending a military academy, but is it possible for brothers and sisters to be in the same classes and other groups there?
We wouldn't know that for sure, but I want to pretty much guarantee that you could. Why could you not? I'm sure there's plenty that have done that. What about twins? Right, so I'm sure there's many siblings that are in the same class. We know our very good friends, both the brother and sister, both went to West Point. They were different years, but they were there at the same time. I don't know if they had the same classes together, but I don't think it would be an issue at all. I don't think that would even come up.
I think if you pick your classes the same day, I think maybe there's a chance. Also, when I went to the Naval Academy, I met a girl and her brother was going to West Point. I don't know, I thought that was really interesting. Yeah. And she had also gotten into West Point, and her brother was older, but she was like, no, I'm going to go to Naval Academy, which the rivalry must be insane.
That's cool. Very cool. All right, any other questions before we let her go finish getting ready, because she leaves in a couple days, right?
Yes, Thursday.
Excited. Someone said, oh, Kelly the OG, A&M was my school, wonderful experience. And now her son's going in the Marine Corps.
That's what I've heard from everyone that's gone there, that it was great. I'm so excited. Another question. Oh, I don't know the answer. Good evening, ma'am. Does Texas A&M have a good aeronautical program there? Do they? I think they have great programs all around. They're known, like they're one of the top schools in the nation, but I'm not sure about aeronautical.
There we go right there. David Bryant says a home football every Saturday. George Service, we're going to the games. We're going to the games. You can bet that we'll be at the games. And she talked about her instructor. Does he have season tickets?
Every single year.
Every year, season tickets. He goes no matter what. His daughter does go there.
Yes.
But I mean, she's not Corps Cadet. She's not on the football team. But he goes to watch the Corps Cadets march onto the football game before the game. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. We're all excited. Thank you all for your love and support. We'll definitely keep you posted. I'll let you know what I do know as she goes through NSI for the next 2.5 weeks, but we'll definitely get her right back on as soon as she gets back. Read this last one from Wallaby Wungus, and we're going to land this helicopter.
Yes, Texas A&M University has a highly regarded aerospace engineering program.
There you go.
I trust it.
So, Major, does the Corps want 50% of their officer corps to be priors? Haven't heard that. But prior enlisted? Is that, and where did you hear that? I haven't heard that yet. I'll check into that, because here's what I'll say about prior enlisted officers. Most are good, not all. Just because they're prior enlisted doesn't mean that they're going to make a good officer, and I saw that recently firsthand. So that's not always the answer. So I don't know where that percentage came up. I think it's good. I've met some very good Mustangs, prior service enlisted. Now they become officers, but again, on the complete 180, I've met very recently some from very bad leadership that went that path, and it didn't turn out well. All right, Carl Green, thanks, brother. Congratulations again, young lady. Make us all proud. Thanks, Carl, for being here. Can't wait to hear some stories.
There's a question
from you. Oh, one more.
I think it said why I didn't choose Annapolis.
Why did you choose not to attend Annapolis?
Okay, so the reason why I chose not to, I think a big part of it, to the two main reasons, the biggest reasons. The first one was them not having the major I wanted, which is really important because I couldn't see myself majoring in any of the majors they offered. And the second was that it wasn't guaranteed that I would be a Marine officer, which is the one thing that I would for sure want whenever deciding in college, is that I want to be in the Marine Corps. And the Naval Academy, yes, they do commission Marines. I just wanted it to be for sure. And then also, I just want to be in Texas. I love Texas A&M. It was a great place, but still, Naval Academy is great. It's amazing.
Awesome. Great answers. Great answers. Right there. Third reason is because Texas is sick. All right. Called it. Yeah. That's it. We absolutely did fall in love with Texas. All right, everyone. Reminder: no Wednesday live. No Wednesday live. So we'll see you next Sunday. I'll pump out some shorts. Right, maybe some SFMF on the street. We'll try and get some stuff done while we're still settling. The dust is still from the helicopter, but we'll try to get as much out there as we possibly can as we settle into this. Kick out Annie Banani, and so she can start her journey. But we'll definitely see y'all again very, very soon. Close us out.
Semper Fi, my friends. URAH.
URAH. Hurry. See you next week.